Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Whiskey Mania. This channel is all about whiskey, and we are going to start with single malt Scotch whisky. So all of us have heard this word single malt Scotch whisky, but I think very few people know what exactly is a single malt Scotch whisky. So I would like to explain what exactly is single malt whisky, and we'll go word by word. So the first word is single. Single just means it's from a single individual distillery. The cool thing about it that it has its own unique physical location, its own story of its character, etc. The whiskey is made of simple materials like water, yeast and barley. Each distillery has its own unique taste. Well, why is that? It's a huge variety effect like length of fermentation, the style, size of the stills, how they are operated, type of condenser they use, the amount of spirit that is saved, which is also known as the cut. So basically what I'm trying to say is each distillery has got its real unique individual character. So that was the first word, single. Let's go to the next one. The next word is malt. Malt means the whiskey is made by only malted barley. So no other grains, no maize, no other stuff. Barley is original grain of Scotland. Barley was basically used for beer and whiskey. In Scotland, it's 100% barley, but in other countries it's different. For example, in US, you only need 50% of barley to put malt in the name. So that's with single malt. But there's the other word which will come up, that is Scotch. Single malt Scotch whisky. So Scotch, what does Scotch mean? Scotch means that it is made from the whiskey in Scotland. So generally when people think of single malt, they just think of Scotch. But there are other single malt whiskies as well. Like US is doing single malt, Canada is doing single malt. In fact, there's Indian single malt whiskey as well.
By law, all Scotch whiskies for the home market have to mature for at least 3 years, and the casks in which they're stored are all important.
Many different distilleries contribute to the final blend.
Japanese single malts are very famous. For example, there's Yamazaki, Hibiki, which are really nice, which I've tasted myself. But what you will notice in these whiskey labels is that there's no such word as Scotch, but still it is from one distillery, still made from barley. Now let's go to the regular whiskies which you must have had. The Scotch whiskies like your Johnny Walkers, your Chivas Regals. Now these are blended whiskies. Blended means it is not just from a single grain, it is from multiple grains like wheat, maize. And the other thing about blended whiskey is that they are not just from one distillery, they are from multiple distilleries. They take different materials from different distilleries, put them together and blend them. The good thing about the blend is that the taste is quite consistent. So each year you go buy a bottle, you will get quite similar taste, whereas single malt, they change year to year. But that's what makes single malt more individual. They come from smaller pool of beer barrels, and hence it tells more about its distillery, whereas the blend is all about the master blender and what they create by mixing up those whiskies. So for most people, you first encounter with whiskey is generally a blend, so not single malt. That's because 90% of the outcome of whiskey out of Scotland is blended whiskey and not single malts. There's one more whiskey called blended malt whiskey. It comes from multiple distilleries but comes from malted barley. So no grain, no wheat, no maize, just malted barley. So that's about it. So now we've learned what is single malt whiskey, what is blended whiskey. So we know the difference between single malt and blended whiskey. So whenever we go to any bar and we order single malt, we exactly know what exactly it is and how it is made and what makes it different from the rest of the whiskeys. So that was my first video, guys. In the next video I'm going to discuss the top 10 single malt whiskeys which we can consume, and I'm also going to talk about those 10 single malt whiskeys, how they are made, where they are made, and what makes them individual. So if you like this video, please like, share and comment like you do it for any other video. Please do that. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye. Forgot to say, please also subscribe to this channel. This is a new channel and there's a lot more coming up.